Communication is key. Don't be ashamed to ask questions, even if there's a point where you think, I've asked this question so many times.
Enrico Carissa, capturing the greatest moments of life.
One-on-one with Ilias and Joel. Welcome to the interview. We are saying that hashtag Semana Enrico. So you can introduce yourself to the video.
Of course. So, hi everyone. My name is Joel Fitze. I come from Switzerland, and I'm here for about 2 weeks to be part of a project. Let's call it a volunteering style project, and been doing some work with Ilias here in form of building a compost silo and some gardening work. Yes.
Okay, this is Joel. As he has introduced himself, we turn to this gentleman here.
Hello everyone, my name is Ilias. I'm also from Switzerland. I'm a long-year friend of Joel, and he introduces me for this project in Kenya, for this volunteering for landscaping and gardening close to nature. I'm really happy to be here and grateful for inviting from my college that I can take this chance and learn new things.
One-on-one, I will start with Joy.
Yes.
Maybe you can tell the people who are watching you right now what inspired you to switch from landscape garden to retail.
That is a very good question. I would say in gardening in Switzerland, the big inspiration that I had was working with customers. As a landscape gardener or as a gardener in Switzerland, you focus on projects around the house or the apartment of the customer, and you try to develop to start projects in form of planting plants, or it can also include some type of form of masonry, maybe. Yeah, different projects. Let's say the inspiration was maybe to find something where I can put my skills in the center of my work. Yeah, I think that was the reason to switch.
Yeah, and people who are watching you, they ask that how has your background in landscape that they influence your approach to current role as a deputy branch manager?
The deputy branch manager that I am right now, first I had to walk through different stages. So when I switched to retail, I was just a normal apprentice as well. The first step that I made into retail was actually in a store that was selling plants and DIY material. So I had, let's say, quite a big amount of knowledge already because of the landscaping I did. So I already had the experience of the practical work, which helped me, give some good advices to the customers and start in that type of environment. I had a really good start there because of my knowledge as a landscape gardener.
When we turn to Ilias here, maybe you can tell the listeners right now what drew you after the training to specialize in the garden.
Yes, I would like to tell them. After my apprenticeship in landscaping, I finished my military service, then have a couple of jobs in different companies that give me many experience. The job I can learn many ways, many directions of the profession. It's a profession that you can work in big companies, do bigger projects, but they are very work not that close with clients or with one object. They're more the head of many things, but not deep into. In 2015, I started working in a company in Zurich. It's a smaller company that focus on the regular clients and do projects with them for long years for very exclusive gardens and projects. I started work there, and I become possibilities to work with clients for many years, do many different projects in a way that I don't know about. I started work there. And that was the inspiration to focus more on landscaping, gardening, and do that for a long time.
Maybe you can tell the listeners, like right now, can you describe a project or achievement in your garden career that particularly proud of?
Yes, I think I have to start. It was one of my first bigger projects in this company in 2016. I was in a little city called Lubin near Zurich. It was a big complex, and our company became the landscape for the all around for this complex. And the interesting part of it was it has to be very practical. Parking spaces, living spaces for people, lawn, but also an environment that is very close to nature. It has to be very beautiful. It has to be in a balance with the surrounding, with the landscape that already existed there. And to combine these two points was a very good experience. I was the deputy head of the project. It took me 8 months to finish the project. It was real hard, a real thrill sometimes, but it feels very good to end the project, and I was very happy with the project also. It turns out really good. And a little small project, I think 2 years ago, I designed a little film set in the garden for a Swiss TV show. That was also fun.
Oh, retail experience. What are some of the biggest challenges you face in retail management?
This is also one of the most important questions. So, leadership. The first time I came to leadership was also in my military service in Switzerland, and I could make this small diploma that I could use in my working career. And to come back to the question, the biggest challenge, especially in retail, if you are leading people, I think you always have to see the goal. The end goal needs to be the ultimate customer satisfaction, right? So, for example, it doesn't matter if it's a DIY store, an electronics store, maybe it's a tool shop, maybe it's a supermarket. At the end of the day, the customer needs to be satisfied, right? I would say, as a deputy branch manager, it's quite the challenge, because every person, every employee has a family, has a home, has problems of their own, and they come every day to work, so they are influenced by so many factors, and that's, I'd say, to show the appreciation that they deserve, to give responsibility to every employee, to also be a role model, I say, to demonstrate to also participate, and that maybe the employees imitate you, that's a big challenge. And I mean, you're a role model. As a deputy branch manager, I'm a role model for maybe 30 people, if I want it or not. But it is key to just beware of the role model that you have to be, and always have a clear mind, maybe stay relaxed in certain circumstances, and I think that's the biggest challenge to get this vibe, sort of, a good working vibe. Yeah.
Maybe can you share some memorable experience from your time in your retail?
Yes. Well, I've now worked in different retail positions, and I would say the most challenging, let's call it, story was, or part in my career was probably getting to a new place, a new store where I've never been before. It was in another city as well. So I knew the customers, or the type of customers. It was a DIY store as well. So it's sort of, you can imagine, like a tool shop, or maybe you also sell plants and different kind of things. I'd say the challenge was, I came there, nobody knew me, and I was also quite young, so it was one of the first jobs that I had as a deputy branch manager. And the biggest challenge I had there was to earn the respect of the employees, because I had employees that have been working in this type of job for a very, very long time. So they have a lot of experience, but you always have to find yourselves with the right communication, with setting goals. That's quite tough when you're very young, to earn the respect, but I actually earned it. So we really developed a really good team, and that is actually proof of the success, because we were very successful as a store, and that was because we were developing into a really good, efficient working team. So everybody helped each other. There was nobody like messing around or that had no interest in our daily business. So everybody was really focused on the job, and we were successful. And that was like a really good feeling, because it also brings with it takes hard work to get up every day, motivate your people, motivate your employees, focus on goals. You also, important, I always say, you need to have fun during work, but you also need to focus when it's time to focus. So, let's say that I think that's probably one of the best. The success that we earned with hard work, that was one of the best experiences I had.
Enrico Carissa, capturing the greatest moments of life.
Professional and development. Maybe you can tell the viewers there, what do you find the most rewarding about work as a gardener specialist?
It's a really good question. I think the most important thing for me is to work with nature, work with plants, to make people live their dreams in their garden with nature. I think it's a big problem in Switzerland. Many people have forgotten how is nature, how our plants work, how it feels to be there. I think that's a big point for many people, to have a garden, to invest in the garden, because stressful life, they're just working. They go from building to building, forget to see a tree, and then they go home, and maybe they live in a city, they don't have a garden, it's just on a rooftop or something, but there are some plants and trees and flowers, and to live that, to experience that, I think that is a big point for me. Also, I like to work with my hands. It's a good, I can combine planning and researching with actual physical work, both included in gardening. And I like also work with people. We have the part with customers, talk to them to find out what they really want, what is their need, maybe to tell them something that they didn't know yet. They have an idea, but they can't describe it. And then in a good working
Maybe there is someone who is considering your career of landscape and gardening. What advice will you
sorry. First of all, interests in this type of work. Interest in gardening, interest in plants, nature, interest in working with your hands.
Yeah.
Physical ability have to be there. But I think what I can say to people who want to do this work, it's a very work to give something back. I think it fills my heart in the evening when I have a day off and you see your project is growing or you're even finished,
Yeah.
and you have something done that stays. It won't go away. It's not just the idea. It's an actual project that is realized.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling.
Okay, when we turn to Joelia, personal insights,
Yes.
maybe you can tell the balancing. How do you balance your professional life with your personal interests?
Well, the balance I get it from, first and foremost, I am a father as well, so I have 2 children, and family is the most important thing in life. So I'd say I get a lot of energy from my family. But also I have a hobby as well. So playing football is also a big hobby of mine, and I enjoy it very, very much. And I play it like 2 times a week in the evening, and then we have games as well. So I think it's really important for hardworking people that you find balance in whatever it is. May it be something creative or a family or a sport. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So family and sport. That's maybe a workout here and then. So yeah, those are the things that balance me out. Yeah.
And what do you enjoy most of the time about living and working in Switzerland?
Enjoying, I would say maybe what I appreciate the most. I'd say I appreciate the security I get, from Switzerland. So I have a job that is really, really safe. I can rely on my salary, and that's not something that you get for granted. That's I think that's the one thing that I appreciate the most. Enjoying, when we talk about enjoyment, I mean, for example, here Kenya, the people are so lively. They are, creative. They are communicative. I think it would be good for Switzerland to just take a small part of that emotional expression. people are so focused on work. Sometimes the people or the human or the emotion that we share between humans, between people, get lost. So
that is a very big difference between here in Kenya and in Switzerland. So we are learning from you now. So personal insights.
Mhm.
Maybe you can tell the listeners there as well. How do you spend your free time when you are not working?
Yes, it's a very important time of my life, of my free time. And I am really a social person, family and friends also very important for me. But I also like physical condition and jogging and weight training, and I do martial art, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's a grappling sport. I think I can describe it a little bit near to wrestling. It's a really big part of me. It's the, maybe you have a bad day, think about things that you cannot solve. That's the word I say. So thank you, sure. Cannot solve, but in the evening you go to the dojo, have an hour of sparring. And nobody cares about your problems there. It's just your skills, just your ability this day. Sometimes you have a good evening, sometimes you have a bad evening, but in the end, all the same on the mat. And then you can get home and have also a good sleep and don't think about these problems. They are for tomorrow. That is a big part for me. So,
As you said, you are YouTube. You met around 12 years ago.
yes.
So, can you share with us how has your friendship evolved since you met at the first 12 years old?
yes, would like to. We met 12 years old, I think 6th grade.
Yeah, it must be about 6th grade. Yeah.
Yes. Joel came directly from Sweden. He lived there for 2 years when I imagined right.
Yeah, almost.
I think we many similar interests then, and start to hang out with each other. Many the same hobbies. I think over the years it grows a friendship that I really enjoy, really be grateful for. To have a friend that is like a brother for me.
Yeah, maybe I could say something as well about Ilias. I mean, he's a friend that I can always rely on, always count on. I mean, it's also the proof we both are here. That's something that will be we will always think of in a few years from now. That takes also courage, maybe, and a good friendship to do it together. To go. I mean, it's quite the distance from Switzerland to Kenya. But as I said, I mean, or like he said, he is like a brother to me. And I mean, we've been through times, easy times, harder times. But I mean, that's what friendship is about, right? So those kind of experiences, they strengthen your bond. And yeah, I mean, I would say he's almost like family.
Could you let us know your favorite memories together when you were together
Since then. So we also had some parts of or some type of traveling inside of Europe, but the most special one would be maybe a trip that we made to Iceland, which is really up north. And we really underestimated the climate there. So we thought, yeah, we're from Switzerland, we know the cold, nothing can surprise us. But Iceland is oof.
It's on another level.
It's on another level, indeed. I mean, we had like the wrong clothing you can imagine. I mean, we arrived at the airport. It was snowing. It was deep snow. Like you can't imagine. It was like a winterland you cannot imagine. And yeah, I mean, we've been to many other countries as well together, and seeing different cultures, seeing different people, meeting new places. You know, that's what it's all about.
And maybe, what did your time in Kenya influence your pacification life and work?
Yes, I'd like to tell them. It was a real new experience for me, Kenya. So it's my first time to travel this distance to a whole other continent.
Yeah.
But I think what I most realize here in Kenya is it's a different type of living and problem solving. I think the Kenyans are people that can adapt to situations, stay calm, don't get stressful when it's get difficult. So I think if a problem, okay, you look for solving.
Yeah.
Don't have a breakdown. Don't have some stress. Just okay, we look at, we solve it, stay calm. I think this is a really big lesson for me to see that, and I hope I can adapt that a little bit and take it back to Switzerland. Biggest surprise for me was by the people was the friendliness and this real open and also some respectful way to treat each other. It was really a good experience for me. And also the beauty of this country. Came here, I see some plants that grew in Switzerland, maybe this big, and you can't let them outside because they will die because it's too cold. Then I come here and see it; they are 3 meters big and look amazing. For me as a gardener, especially, that was amazing.
Maybe you can share with us some highlights from your 2 weeks stay in Kenya.
Well, highlights. I mean, this trip has almost been full with highlights. I mean, if we look at the social part, the Kenyans are so warm-hearted people. They welcomed us with open arms. I mean, it's just also if I look at Kenyans, the appreciation they have for things that are for granted in Switzerland, maybe. It's all about cherishing the moments, the small moments that are fulfilled with emotions and kindness, and that gets thrown under the bus in Switzerland. So I really like this. I pay such a high respect to all the Kenyans. So what motivated me? I mean, of course, everybody knows her here in Marere at least. So Mama Kaya, Barbara Pura, she was, or she still is, working with me, or I working with her on a project in my company, which involves the apprentice, the people that do an apprentice. They come to a workshop that me and Barbara are doing in Switzerland. It's a workshop for successful communication in retail. So that's where I met her. That was about maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I always heard about her projects here in Kenya, which I found really interesting. So I kept asking, and I asked her, like, hey, is there any possibility that I can maybe come to Kenya? And the question that she gave me was, well, what can you do? Is there anything you can bring here and maybe show the people here, or And then we talked about my career, and obviously gardening was a part of it. And then we thought that we could start this kind of project, and that was the big motivation, of course. But I knew that I couldn't go on my own. I needed the help of my good friend. So I told him, "Hey, Ilias, it's time. We need to go to Kenya. I don't care if you want to. You just come with me." No, I did not. But,
You did.
no. But that was the big motivation to see that it was possible for me to come to another continent, and I really much appreciate this experience. Really, I can't even put it into words. I'm really grateful for this moment, and also learning from the Kenyans here is a big pleasure. Yeah.
As we now conclude this interview, maybe you can advise the students plus the teachers of Marera community.
Sure.
Yeah.
So maybe, and one advice would be something that always helped me as well, that I had to recognize at a certain point or at a certain level in my career. Communication is key. Don't be ashamed to ask questions, even if there's a point where you think, I've asked this question so many times. Maybe I should not ask because he will not like it or she will not like it. Don't. Nobody will thank you at the end. So just keep on pushing, keep on asking, get your information, especially here. I mean, now I see a lot of people, you got smartphones as well here, so use it. Ask questions, go into the internet, ask the questions there if you can't get them from the teacher. But what I really want to say is communication is key to solving all the problems, I think. If we don't talk to each other and if we don't communicate, then problems will appear.
As you look at camera there is many people who have asked me to come and ask you guys because I'm the messenger.
Of course.
Maybe, are you in a relationship?
In the moment, yes, I'm in a relationship.
Yeah.
For 1.5 years. My girlfriend, maybe you see it. We live together. And yes, I'm really good.
Well, as you said, you have 2 kids.
Yes, that is true.
A wife. Maybe you can share with us, as a Kenyan, how you handle your relationship.
That's a good question because I'm in a very happy relationship, I must say, first of all. So, hi babe, I'm gonna greet you if you see this. I love you. But I'm not married at this point. I have a girlfriend, but I'm also a father of 2. And well, it's funny because the advice I gave before with the communication, I would say that's also key in a relationship. So
Yes.
always talk with your women. No. I'd say communication is really key.
Maybe you can tell the listeners right now, how do you see your career and friendship evolving in the next few years?
Our friendship, I think
It's like a rock, it stays.
it's like a rock, it stays. Okay. No, I think I can imagine ourselves involved in projects maybe similar to this one. Maybe in the further future, we will be coming back to Marere, who knows? But I think this has shown me we can do another project like this, maybe somewhere else, but maybe in the further future because it also involves money, so
Time.
and time. But I think this experience is it's a really, really good experience. So yeah.
Maybe you can tell us, do you have any plans for future travel or project together with Joel.
Yes. Future travel plans? Yes. I think we also have plans together for traveling for the most part. I think Asia would be a place that would be really interesting. Projects? Yes, it's our first project of this kind. But I think in the future that would be a thing that we can do more. Because for these 2 weeks, I think I learned more than in the last 2 years. And that is and also maybe in the far future going back to Marere. Maybe you learn something new. You can show that. Yeah.
We say there is a student here in Marere who would like to be like you. What advice will you give him?
Advice, I think it's a really beautiful way to work. Starter, as it gives you many things. You can use it in many different situations. At home for yourself, you can do it for clients. You can build up your experience and become a teacher for gardening. And I think get the big cities here in Kenya that I see. I fly over Nairobi. I think the people there have maybe the same problem as the people in Switzerland in the cities. They don't have that much nature in the city, so they need gardeners and landscapers to bring that nature to their homes, to their environment, and also take care of them. And there's a big chance. So focus on that. And you want to be a landscaper.
Last but not least, as we end up with an interview.
Yes.
There is those people who have watched you since we have started the interview. Maybe any good words would you tell them? It will help in their future.
Okay. What I've seen here is that Kenya is a beautiful place, but it's also a tough place when we talk about education. So I wish all the people all the best, because if there's people that deserve it, then it's the people here in Kenya. And I think your time will come, but until then, just focus on your education, get this done, get your diploma, and then use your contacts, use the people the things that you earn through communication, through the successful communication. Use those contacts, and I think there will be a bright future. Yeah.
Oh, now this is the end of the interview. I was the host, Enrico Carissa. I was with these two men here. I like the job they are doing. Most of them, they compost, and the thing that they build there will let you know, and you will watch everything. Hashtag tunasema ni moja, sema na Enrico. Endelea kutazama, usiende mahali popote. Niite Enrico Carissa, pia vile vile uwe na siku njema.
Enrico Carissa, capturing the greatest moments of life.